Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Literally only just started, so you're all good. This is Mark from Totally Los Angeles. He's going to be filming today. It might bother you guys with questions. Okay, so we're going to kind of walk up Abbot Kinney, back down, and take the side streets back to the beach. It's a street art tour, so don't quote me on the culture and the dates, but I'm going to try and throw as much history in it as I can about Abbot Kinney, the canals, Venice, where it started, etc., etc. We're going to see various people. We're going to see practically every piece of art, actually. We're going to see installations, sculptures, stencils, wheat paste, murals, graffiti. I used to live in East London before I moved to Venice 3 years ago. So my background is actually in finance, so I'm an accountant, chartered accountant for my sins. And I basically fell into it accidentally. I started taking pictures of art, the artists become friends, you start to associate yourself with the pieces, you learn a little bit about the styles. I started arranging legal walls, festivals, charity projects, numerous things, all unintentionally basically building up a portfolio for my expert visa. And then a gallery sponsored me and I came to Venice 3 years ago. I kind of had a lot of knowledge of the history just from being around the area, a lot of friends. I work with the homeless charities, I work with the city, I do numerous non-profit projects. And because this job I was doing changed, I kind of figured, right, I've got 2 days spare a week. Why don't I start the tours? I've previously done them in London, I've previously done them in Berlin, and no one else does them on the west side of Los Angeles. They're all in the arts district. So I kind of have a niche in that no one else does it here. And most importantly is supporting the local community, right? So I'd say I'm working with the homeless charity, I'm supporting artists and paying for their paint from the tips that we've just received, etc., etc. And we've kind of on the tour, we've canted through the history, like from the creation of Venice, the canals, through to the gangs, the Crips, the birth of skateboarding, through to the gentrification that we see today in terms of the street that we're on, and Snapchat kind of driving up the prices of everything. So I felt I kind of had a very niche niche product to offer people, and yeah, it's going really well. And it's now the most expensive place on the west side outside of Malibu, which is ironic when you think about the we just fell into disrepair. So the point being here, very, very clever parody by GZJR, is that gentrification of the area. Now Abbot Kinney himself can't afford to rent and he's begging on the streets, being pushed out on the streets that he created, his namesake. And this is actually a really relevant thing to art areas in general. What about the tour? So yeah, it's a really good question. I mean, you come on it, but to kind of capture it in a kind of bud is to obviously go. So this is Wheat Paste by my friend Africa 47. It's his studio. So we would talk about the different styles of art. So from wheat paste to graffiti to murals, portraiture, stencils, installations, etc., etc. So that's the kind of typical street art tour, if you will. But then, like I said, most importantly for me is the aspect in the history of Venice specifically. It's a unique place, and I don't think there's anywhere like it in the world. DNA in the background. Now I don't know what that is. Someone only asked me on Wednesday, so I texted him and I'm waiting for a response. But again, like the chase piece, I've seen this 100 times. I've never noticed that before. So somebody said, is it something to do with LA being in your blood? I don't know. So I'm waiting for his response on that. Street art tours you have to have an ethical stance in the community and have some respect from your peers, right? And the way you respect them. So street art tours can get a bad rap some of the time, right? Make no mistake, I got paid to do what I did today, right? So for me, there's a number of things that I do to make sure I give back. So the first is to make sure that everybody gets all the media of the artists that we've seen. So you get the Instagrams, the websites, their locations in case you want to look at them more. Inevitably, on the back of that following, people are going to purchase work off the artists. So that's a side spin for that. I also do non-profit. I donate my time to charity tours for art schools in Los Angeles. So for the Exceptional Children's Foundation, I do that with them. I work with the homeless charity on the beach, so I give back there. And like I just said, with the money, I also donate paint to local artists. So it's really important for me to give back. I go about the commission of Bradley Bone, artists being paid to do work and keep their own body of work. As well, and also another good thing actually is promoting Los Angeles as a city, right? So the LA Tourist Board came through last 2 weeks ago, and they brought 20 travel agencies from around the US who went back and promoted the tour and several other tours to their respective states. So for me, actually, it's good to be part of the furniture and promote the city as a whole and bring tourism in. I'm all about local businesses, right? So the place we start and finish, so we have a group tour week after next, and they're taking the catering from the coffee shop where I meet out on the corner. So that's $300-400 for that business there. So it's about giving back and spinning off, and every place we go and stop at would be a local business, not a corporation.